for this?
Ready. Hey guys, we want to thank you for tuning in and welcome you to Tent Talk with Jordyn.
I'm Aiden.
And let's get into this. Okay, so today we're going to start with who we call Sally. That's my ride we built last winter, and let's just kind of see what we're dealing with here. Doors are a little less than convenient. So, that's Sally. Sally's been around for, I don't know, just over a year.
Yeah.
We bought her August of
2020?
2020? Yeah.
I think so.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. She's given us a lot of grief. She doesn't like what we've done to her, and it definitely lets us know. It was a bit of a tough year for us. As a lot of you know, we do a lot with Thoughtless, and Thoughtless is trying to grow, but with Sally being moody, it's made it very difficult for us this year. We're hoping for a better year next year, but this year we started with, we had revealed it with the wide body and done the 3-piece wheels and wing and everything, and kind of just kept everything else stock.
For the most part, I'd say.
Yeah, it didn't really stay that way for very long.
No.
The motor had a different plan. We ended up locking up the rear tires on the highway right by the house here. We got lucky. Got a 20-minute drive home from work, and it decided it was going to go 2 minutes from my door.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a nice easy push to the driveway. We still don't fully know what happened with that motor. We lost oil for some reason. Not too sure why. We checked the oil 2 days before, and the day we drove it home, there was
none in there.
Absolutely nothing left.
Exactly.
She seized up and bent 3 rods, cracked the block all over the place, which is now going to become a coffee table one day in memory of the old girl. But at that point, we couldn't really decide where we were going. Like, do we put another VQ in it? Hope for the best?
Or do we drop something bigger into it and then plan on building it up in the future?
Exactly, yeah. So that's the route we went. We thought we were winning. We went and found a Junkyard Swap for from a 5.3. It started with an LM7. That lasted 5 days. She got to meet the trailer again, and which turned into, we now got the car together. We've got the LS swap done. Let's keep it running for the summer.
Drive around nice.
Try to. So we found an LQ4. We got a 6-liter in it now. Seems to be holding out a lot better, but it gave us enough
grief at the start.
Oh my goodness. It was steady. It took us about 2 days to get the swap done again, since we had everything here. And probably about 2 weeks to work out all the kinks. Didn't go as smoothly as the first one.
No.
Ended up having a bunch of gum in the motor, and it was filling oil filters like crazy, so we didn't do a whole lot of driving, just filling filters and just watching the oil pressure drop, change filters, change oil, rinse and repeat. Wasted too much money on oil, but it's clean right now.
What can you do about it, right?
No, there's not a whole lot. And then we got that all figured out and went to go drive it one morning. We're like, hey, where the hell's our coolant going? You could pour it in the coolant, pour the coolant in cold without the motor running and watch it drain. So investigation again.
Chasing problems.
Chasing problems, and like, we checked for leaks in all of our coolant lines because everything's new. Checked the leaks on the rod, nothing was leaking anywhere. Like, what the heck's going on here? So finally my brother, he was up visiting and I was at work. He's like, I'm gonna pull the spark plugs and we'll crank it over. I'm like, okay. See what happens. Okay. Yeah, good. Definitely getting coolant. He got coolant in his eyes. Found the problem. So next thing you know, the head's coming off. And I was convinced the head was cracked because you're losing coolant
at that high rate of speed.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to be a head gasket. But it turned out we were lucky. We had split the gasket from the bolt through the coolant jacket and into the piston, and it was just direct feeding itself. So we put a new head gasket in it, and it's kind of where we're at now. We've been driving it a lot nicer, keeping off the autocross track, because that's what killed it last time.
Yeah. No more trailers soon, hopefully.
No, we're getting sick of putting it on a trailer. It's a little too wide. But that brings us to winter now. She's off the road, and it's time to change it up again. Change the look up, make it a little cleaner. A couple things we gotta fix. We can go over that with you guys here, and we can show you what we did last winter too, since we wanted to keep it a secret last winter and never recorded any of it.
Yeah.
We're gonna change that up this year. You guys will see what's happening. So let's just get into what's wrong right now and go from there, and then we can kind of show you as we're going around what we did. And yeah. Okay, so we'll just start at the back here. A couple things that we probably should have done beginning of last winter to prevent what happened, but live and learn. So, these are taillights. They were the super bright red before. We had that vivid taillight tint. It's only like a 20%, so you still get the nice red tinge, but it's not so in your face. We did it when it was +1 out. Big mistake. It didn't last. It's peeling off. Pressure washer's eating it now, so we're going to take those off. We'll bring them inside, and we're actually going to wrap them where the temperature's proper and leave them for a week or so before we bring them back out. Being up here in Canada, hey, so it gets a little chilly. Next will be the wing. We did the Big Country Labs with the Manly mounts. It's aggressive. We run as much downforce as possible just because I like the look. Probably would have saved my trunk, but it is what it is. The wing, when you would hit your 100 kilometers an hour on the highway, would actually...
Can we see that there? Maybe.
Is it going to focus?
Don't think so.
So the wing actually cracked the trunk. We can show you on the other side, and we'll cut to another scene where it's a little more clear here for you. We're learning. Because it's so aggressive, you'd hit a speed on the highway, and if you hit a bump, the wing would actually shake. You could feel it inside the car. The whole car would just... Like, okay, so we need to do something different. We came up with the cables. It actually did a lot. Like, it doesn't move at all. It's super rigid. It cuts straight on the highway now when it runs. But yeah, it did kind of cost us a trunk. We got clear coat peeling up here. We just had this redone. There's cracks all the way up to here. There's all sorts of stuff going on here. So we're going to change it up a little bit. Will we keep the wing? I don't know. Okay, so we'll just kind of work our way around the car here. Last winter we went with Fiberglass Mafia for the wide body. It was a big learning curve. I've never done one before. The cutting of your fenders was mildly terrifying. We ended up with some fires. We ended up with all this. Everything that could have went wrong. Lots of repainting done on the car. But the kit itself, because we went with such an aggressive wheel, we got 19 by 15 wides here. Wed, crayons, Vishnus. We built them ourselves, and lucky enough Cal Tire in town was here to be able to stretch them on for us. And look
Plus
at
the ice.
We got some ice in here. The wheels are coming off. They're going inside. We're going to polish them all up for the winter and store them. That's coming. But the problem with our fitment here, we can't physically go any lower right now because when you walk it, it does squat and it has eaten some of this out. So I got to figure out something this winter to rework this so we get a little more clearance and we stop with the chipping. All part of learning, all part of building cars is just the way she works out. Sometimes it doesn't always work. We can just move forward here. Same thing happened on the front. Because we went so low, when I turn, it does hit. I'm probably going to take maybe a Dremel or something and clean this up a little bit. Give us a little more clearance. But the front we're running 19 by 13.5. There's a lot of meat on the ground. We wrapped them all with Nitto Invo. They hold pretty good. I'm pretty impressed when we had it on the track there. It was pretty grippy for what it is. I didn't get a lot of seat time this year due to motor issues. But I think if we get more seat time, we should be able to shave a couple seconds off our times. So that brings us to the front here. Got a couple things we gotta assess. We went with the Spec D headlights. They were known for this. We kind of expected it to happen. The fogging, the moisture buildup on the inside. We've been wanting to do the RGB lights on the brow, but I don't know if that's in this winter's plan or not yet. So the lights are going to come out. We'll throw them in the oven. We'll give you guys a little bit of a tutorial on how to split them and reseal them, and hopefully we lose this issue. We also got a burnt out HID on this side right now that we got to look into if we end up going LEDs or not. Hard to say. It'll kind of depend on, at the time, what we feel is better for the car. HIDs are nice, but LEDs do live longer. So we work at the front here. We've also got the hood. Another thing, we should just show you guys what we did, because when everybody was doing the swap, they told us it wouldn't fit. We couldn't run the truck accessories, but hey, sometimes a little bit of a zip cut and some will, it does fit. It doesn't hit the hood. You got about a 1/16 of clearance to the top of the alternator, and I'm satisfied with that. The mounts that LOJ built there, they don't move. The motor doesn't move. It's got clearance. Doesn't need much. Just like the wheels, right? Sometimes it doesn't need a lot of clearance, but it could prove issues sometimes down the road. But the one thing I really do want to change on the motor, I don't think I'm going to touch anything for horsepower wise this winter. Just kind of keep learning the car. It's all new to me. But this intake manifold, we just ended up spray painting it. It was shaved just for clearance. The problem with it being painted, because I've got no fender liners here off the wheels, when the dirt kicks up off the road, it just sticks to it. Spray paint's still sticky. It never fully cures to where it's nice like resin. So I think we're going to try to do a resin overlay on it and hopefully make it so we can clean it up when we hit the shows. It doesn't look like this, just for aesthetics. Keep it a little cleaner. So a couple things that kind of come with the swap. We went with Wiring Specialties for the harness. Fantastic company. They've been great to work with. Their product was amazing. Everything fit perfect. But, you know, there's always a couple kinks. So we've been fighting with the RPM gauge. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Been in contact with Wiring Specialties a lot. They've been phenomenal. They've sent us different brain boxes and all sorts of things to try right away, no questions asked. We haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet. We're hoping to get that covered this winter. A couple more things in here we got to deal with. I've got a fuse right now. That's the reason it came off the road so early. Is the taillight fuse actually snapped in half inside the box. I got to get some picks in there and figure out if we can get it out. Get a new fuse in there, because being on the street without taillights is not something I want to do. I try to keep the eyes off me and just enjoy the car. A couple more things. I've got a fire extinguisher in here I'd like to build a mount for. Yes, Mark, that's yours. Yeah, just due to the fact that we have had a few fires. We've had engine fires and we've had quarter panel fires from the wide body. It's just something that's always in the back of your head after you see the thing go up in flames, and nice to have as a little bit of security. But other than that, like, everything in here is functional. Short shifter works well. We went with B&M. I'm really happy with it. And combine that with the LOJ relocation on the tail of the trans here, everything actually worked really well. It kind of moves in like an H pattern now instead of your linear line, but it functions just as it should. Super tight. That's a good thing. Other than that, I think we can just kind of show you guys what we did do last winter besides the wide body. Like, we've got, it's on BC Coilovers. We had them custom built. They're the ultra lows with the 20K spring, and we run full dampening on all four corners. It actually rides pretty good, as long as the road's not too rough. Living up north here, you do find the odd road where your spine is yelling at you. But what else did we do here? We got SPC rear control arms, or rear camber arms, just to be able to make those big tires fit inside the fenders back there and achieve a decent camber. The back sitting at, was it 3.5, negative 3.5 degrees, which I was pretty happy with. I didn't want a lot. I don't want the camber wear prematurely, but when you are putting it on the track there, having that little bit of camber in your corner, you do gain contact patch on the ground, which was super beneficial. The front's at -2, I think, -2.5. So same thing, pretty good. Can't complain. It holds the road pretty well for what it is. There's always room for improvement, but it all comes with time. I know, it sounds like it's having a stroke. The alarm's kind of having a bit of a fit right now.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's a dead battery with the cold right now, not very happy.
Yeah, no, it's not the warmest out right now.
But I will say I want to thank anybody who took the time out to watch. There's more coming. We've got parts on the way. We've got stuff on the way for Sally. The change is coming, and we're not going to hide it this time.
No.
So we'll get you guys to stick around and
keep checking it out through our process.
Click that subscribe and hit that bell, and you'll get the notification when we do drop another video. We've got another build happening here.
Gotta start building mine up this winter.
So there'll be videos coming from both, and we're gonna try to keep this as active as we can for you guys. But being up here in Canada, we do fight with shipping a lot, so yeah, that's gonna be our hold up.
And the cold.
And the cold, yeah. If we hit those -40 days, it's gonna be a warm inside with hot chocolate instead of being outside with wrenches.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and
Hope to see you next time.
You betcha.
Yeah.